Never in my life have I seen or been a part of a situation where I've seen or thought that young adults think that they could take on NFL players, especially former MVP caliber type of players, especially ones that are 6'6", 240, like former Auburn quarterback Cam Newton. But nevertheless, I, for whatever reason, we have a situation with Cam Newton who's at a 7-on-7 event where somebody thought, who, by the way, Cam Newton was trying to break up another fight that had already started. And you get to a place in a situation where you have Cam Newton getting sucker punched, not once, not twice, but actually 3 times. And he shows everybody and these people who are at this 7-on-7 camp that maybe you shouldn't mess with a former NFL quarterback MVP that's 6'6", 240. And by the way, you already saw in the NFL and especially in college football along the SEC in his title run, maybe you shouldn't fight him or try to sucker punch him. Now, the most impressive thing, and I know a lot of people have said this, the most impressive thing in all of this has to be that when someone sucker punched Cam Newton, that his hat didn't come off. He was wearing a hat that, by the way, I guess the top is cut out of because he's got his hair showing. But it is very unfortunate. Very, very, very unfortunate that these type of situations happen. I will say this just to start. Cam Newton is there to try to help teach, guide, and mold young people into becoming and doing things that are their dream. Never in my wildest dream did I think personally that I would have to tell young people who probably won't ever watch this show, but we have to tell young people that, guys, just because Cam Newton is who he is, he knows more than you. He knows more about football than you do, especially you young wide receivers and quarterbacks. Why you think it's okay to try to fight or do anything with Cam Newton is insane. And even if coaches were involved, he knows more than you. I think it's ironic that we label people in some, whatever label. But look, if I was – Cam Newton falls in a certain label of NFL player, quarterback, whatever. And you can have your own thoughts about Cam Newton. As a person, as a player, I don't really care. But he knows more than you, and he can teach you a couple of things. It's ironic. I remember a video maybe a year or so ago that Cam Newton was either at or hosting a 7-on-7 camp, and these kids were like arguing with him and being disrespectful. I'm pretty sure that when I was at these camps, I went to a couple of LSU football camps growing up, Mississippi State, Southeastern, whatever. If I would have been disrespected or disrespectful to former NFL players, or adults or coaches, I probably would have gotten a belt to the backside. And look, I'm not here to preach or sit on some type of pedestal, especially for a guy like Cam Newton who held his own and didn't even have to throw a punch to ragdoll grown-ass men. But I don't really know all of the situation, but it's a damn shame. That you can't go to a 7-on-7 event without something like this popping off. I think, another former NFL brother or player's brother, Aqib Talib, didn't Aqib Talib's brother get in an altercation where he shot somebody or got arrested, or there was some kind of altercation with Aqib Talib? Guys, this has nothing to do with us as adults. This has nothing to do with anybody else other than we need to be in a situation and place where when someone is trying to give back to the community, show a little bit of respect. It's not cool to be disrespectful. If I was Cam Newton and people were disrespecting me after hosting a 7-on-7 event, I would have left. 1,000%. Like, I'm putting my time, my money, my effort into this, and you're being disrespectful. See ya. Wouldn't want to be you. Anyway. All right. We got lots to discuss. Chris H is in the building, says, I thought some of those guys were other coaches. Yeah, the kid in the white, I'm pretty sure that came up and sucker punched him late was a kid. But it might have been, I don't know who it is, but it maybe of coaches, but I don't know. I have no idea. But even if it, Chris, even if it is coaches, he knows more than you, right? Like, with all due respect to all 7-on-7 coaches, see, in my industry, in what I do, there are like tiers of people, right? Like tiers of people that think that they know stuff and act like they know stuff, no more than 7-on-7 coaches. They think that they are the God's gift to earth. Brother, you don't know shit. Like they really don't. They really don't. They might know cover 3 or slant, but we praise at these 7-on-7 camps. We praise when like a DB slings down a wide receiver. Thank you for the free 10 yards. Are you an idiot? Like I see these videos on these 7-on-7 camps and these all Army camps or whatever it is. And I see a DB sling down a receiver. And everybody on Twitter is like, oh, he just got God. No, he just got a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down. Are you like, what are you doing? Anyway. Penn Jones says, what's amazing is that he didn't hit a single one of them back and couldn't have held back. Well, what's crazy is I think this makes Cam Newton look amazing in a lot of ways, mainly due to the fact that he didn't have to throw a punch to ragdoll 4 men. And by the way, I'm not going to get on the police officer that was there.